to Jason Steele before the game. You know, there's probably a bit of a feeling between both clubs because of, you know, what's happened, you know, change of manager, you know, taking the recruitment staff, players as well. But he mentioned, you know, there's a real need here in the supporters, and you think not even just in the last sort of week or so. You think of Graham Potter when he came back here. So I think it was the first maybe game he lost here as a Chelsea manager as well. So there's need in it. You got to feel it in the atmosphere, and I was up there with the supporters as well. Every time Carragher got the ball, everyone's booing and getting involved as well. Danny, okay, lad?
Hi, Danny. Thanks very much for coming out. Danny Welbeck joining us. And Danny, Jamie was just saying about how.
I'm just saying about, you know, is that. It almost feels like there's a rivalry between Brighton and Chelsea. I felt like I could feel it in the stands. I spoke to Jason Steele before the game, and he mentioned that there's that little bit of friction, understandably so, because of, you know, what's happened with, you know, Graham Potter going there, players going there, taking the recruitment staff. Is there something extra when Chelsea come to town?
Do you know, we feel it as a group in the dressing room, and, you know, the fans, they obviously produce that atmosphere. There's been a lot of ongoings between the two clubs, and, you know, a lot of stuff has happened, and I think it all stems from the fans. They produce that amazing atmosphere, and when it comes on the pitch, we just want to make it like a really good game, really good rivalry, fierce, and, you know, we want to fight right to the end with them.
Danny, really good win, really good performance, an assist from the captain as well. Are you shivering? Are you all right?
I am freezing.
I know it's freezing. Do
you know, I should have got a coat when I come out.
Because you should be. You shouldn't be doing that, particularly after you played in that game. But we need to start by talking about that goal, the touch for the goal from Mitoma. Just talk us through what you thought of it.
Yeah, do you know what? For me, I seen it was like it was slow motion for me, because I seen it going over the top. And obviously Bart's played a long ball, and we've seen countless number of times that Cruz has got an amazing first touch, and sometimes he evades plays with it, and sometimes he keeps it close to him, but he's got a tremendous ability to, you know, bring it down and just kill the ball instantly. He's took a touch inside, and it's an incredible goal, impeccable first touch.
It's a touch that's been compared to Zola, Messi,
Bergkamp. Not Danny Welbeck.
I've done a couple like that, but I've not got a goal like that. Yeah, it's seeing it back there. It's incredible. What a goal!
We were watching you on the commentary. We were getting the different angles, and I think there's a shot of you actually. You're saying, "Wow!" Remember that on the pitch?
Yeah. I was saying it was just like it was a wow moment. It was one of them moments in the game where I'm like, "Wow, it was a great first touch." Incredible. Seeing it from behind and just always bringing it down and
Dan, if we believe what newspapers tell us, there was a bid for this man in obviously January that was turned down. You've played with some great players. Where would you place him in terms of the players that you played with, and where can he get to?
He's got the potential, you know, to play for the top teams. He's obviously, as you've seen today, the ability that he can produce on the football pitch. It's amazing. I think for him, the consistency, you know, to do that week in, week out, to produce these moments, and, you know, there's always a lot that he can improve on, but he knows that he works so hard, so professional, and he's always willing to improve, and that's the amazing thing about him. With the ability he's got, he still wants to get better and better and better.
Talk to me about your partnership with Ruta, because there's a couple of bits of link play tonight which you very rarely see from two central forward players in the Premier League, because we always used to see one play up front, one play deeper. We don't tend to see players combining. Just talk to us about that. I mean, do you prefer that when you've got someone close to you like that?
Yeah, I enjoy it, you know, to have somebody to play off, and I think we've done a lot of work on that in recent weeks, and how we can combine together, have the connections, and you know, I think it's been missing in weeks leading up to the last couple of weeks, and we worked on it in training. Bobby Zamora comes in and we do a lot of link-up play, and the manager wants us to build them connections and always have them sort of combinations, and it's worked tonight. It's something that we're going to keep on working on and keep on improving.
Danny, a couple of assists for you as well. First time you've had 2 assists in a Premier League game for, I think, 8 years. So it's been a productive read.
Yeah,
it's been a productive read. That was meant in a nice way. I can hear it back now, and I can hear how that sounds. But it was meant in a good way, and it's working so well, as Gary said, with all the forward players and how well you work as a unit.
Yeah, it was nice to get the 2 assists, and obviously Minte got the 2 goals today. I'm looking for the refund next week, so if you can refund it, I'll be happy with that. But honestly, to get the 3 points today was the most important thing. We work together. We've shown together as a team we're stronger. We're not, when we play as individuals, we're not as good, not as strong. And when we play together, amazing performance.
I can't watch you shiver anymore.
Oh, I'm
Please
freezing.
go in.
I need to get inside.
And find somewhere.
I need to get inside.
We've tried to get you a coat, but it's not on its way yet. So
Dreaming of Europe confirms Minter, the 2-goal hero tonight. These are the numbers from the 90 minutes in that encounter, and I think the one that stands out glaringly, obviously, is Chelsea's no shots on target.
I mean, they've got touches in the opposition box, but, you know, it's all very well just keeping those passes, but there's no one really breaking the deadlock. Again, I found them boring tonight. I found they didn't have the answers to break down Brighton's back five at times. And they only had one shot against Brighton in the FA Cup as well on target. So it's a problem for me now, the last couple of games, that with the calibre of players they have, why they're not creating more chances and shots on goals.
Yeah, it's the first time in a Premier League game this season Cole Palmer, their main man, hasn't created a single chance. That kind of tells a story too.
Yeah, I know, but I think, would you sit here and think, Karen, as well, that he's just been found out of his style of play, people understand how it works, and in many ways figured a way to stop it, because this bad run in many ways has started from just before Christmas, and it's still going now. I
think it goes back to what we said at the start of the show. They have to problem solve. And that also means if Cole Palmer's not in the game, you can't just rely on Cole. Cole's an absolute brilliant talent, and he's trying to go deeper because teams are sitting deeper, so he's trying to find spaces. But he needs other people, because we showed at the start, again at the top of the show, he creates those chances, people aren't taking them, but the calibre of players in that squad and the money they've spent, it shouldn't rely just on Cole. And if he's not having a great game, that should mean the whole game plan doesn't go out the window. That's not good enough.
What should they have done differently?
I was disappointed in the wide play. I was disappointed again that, you know, when they turned to a back five, how is Enzo changing the game? It was exactly the same in the FA Cup. I thought they would have learnt their lessons. It's a deep block, crosses into the box, maybe put another centre forward up as well. Not as in, it's difficult because Jackson's not involved because of his injury, but maybe move, I don't know, try something a little bit different. But I didn't see it. I see the same things that happened from the FA Cup game into tonight's game, and you get the same outcome.
Yeah, well, Chelsea couldn't find a way. You wanted to add?
Yeah, well, Karen said the same things. There was a free kick that you highlighted as well, that they did the same They tried the same free kick again that they scored from in the FA Cup. So that just highlights exactly what she was saying. But it was weird to see Chelsea, a team that, as we saw, had so much more possession than Brighton. They didn't really create too much, or in watching the game, they didn't even look dangerous. I know sometimes you have shots and they go wide, but there wasn't really us in a green room like, oh, that was close. There was none of that really, so it was quite strange.
OK, so I was going to say that while Chelsea didn't have a single shot on target, Brighton scored 3 incredible goals, the first of which definitely stands out. And as Natalie Jedra in the interview rightly mentioned, an assist for Verbruggen as well.
It's a great pass, but I think the touch just makes that pass even better. He's not only watching and looking for the ball coming over his shoulder, he's also concentrating on where the defender is to know where to bring that ball back. And you can see from the way he takes that touch and then the second touch straight after, it was all calculated, and that's exactly what he wanted to do. And it was, for me, it's the best touch for me this year that I've seen, and will most probably be the touch of the season.
Yeah, can you remind us again what makes it so difficult?
I mean, all of it. You know, the balance, the agility, the quickness of the speed, the tight touches, the shots outside the box. And like I said, I have raved about Mitoma for so long now, because he's so graceful. He's so graceful, and he makes everything look easy. And look, I know we've criticised, you know, Chelsea's in attack, but equally in defence they've made poor decisions. You know, Brighton have got one extra player in that attack there. Gusto's got to tuck in a little bit. If you're a player down, leave the furthest player.
Jamie Carragher took aim at Trevoh Chalobah, Malo Gusto and Philip Jorgensen for their part in Keira Mitoma's stunning opener for Brighton against Chelsea. The initial stages of the first half proved cagey, but Mitoma brought the Premier League contest to life with an exquisite strike to break the deadlock in the 27th minute. Chelsea's scrambling defenders failed to deal with Bart Verbruggen's searching goal kick, and the Japan winger capitalised in some style, taking the ball down with an astonishing first touch before finding the corner of Philip Jorgensen's net. Just 10 minutes later, the Seagulls had a second through Yankuba Minte, who beat Jorgensen with a controlled effort to send the Amex Stadium into raptures after some fine play between Jorginho Rutter and Danny Welbeck. I cannot believe that first touch, ex-Liverpool defender Carragher said while analysing Mitoma's wonder goal. I said before the game out on the pitch that I couldn't wait to see Mitoma and Cole Palmer. They're almost two throwbacks really, teams are so organised now. Watching back Mitoma's extraordinary first touch, a dumbfounded Carragher added, "What is that? Oh, wow. Wow, look at that, that's Lionel Messi-like. That's one of the best goals we've seen this season." After a few moments had passed, Carragher took aim at the questionable positioning of Chalobah and Gusto for Mitoma's strike. The former England centre-back also questioned the role of Jorgensen, who was once again given the nod ahead of Robert Sanchez in Enzo Maresca's starting 11. "When I was looking back at the goal, I didn't want to take anything away from the finish," Carragher added. Tariq Lamptey just makes Gusto go a little bit wider, and it means Mitoma gets in between Chalobah and Gusto, just allows him to bring it down. Nobody is really tight enough to him initially. It's not what you'd say is a mistake by the goalkeeper, but it's the type of save the Liverpool goalkeeper or the Arsenal goalkeeper would make and keep it out. Gary Neville was similarly taken aback by Mitoma's incredible strike, but also felt both Chalobah and Jorgensen could have done more to prevent Chelsea from going behind on the south coast. It's incredible. Honestly, what has done there, watching that ball come over his head, to control it, the ex-Manchester United and England right-back said in the Sky Sports studio at half-time, and this next bit is even better. To snap it inside, the goalkeeper has got to save it, but this is really, really special. The balance, the touch, the way in which he shifts the ball to the side. It's spectacular, it really is. Turning his attentions to Chelsea's defending, Neville added, "I think Chalobah should go and head it or try and head it to start with. But the goalkeeper should save it. It's not in the corner, it's the only place that Mitoma is going to put it. He gets a hand to it and it goes through his hand and pushes his hand back a little bit, so it's not a good moment for the goalkeeper. But let's be positive for once." The Premier League have explained why Enzo Fernandez's goal against Brighton was ruled out. Shortly after Chelsea went behind to the Seagulls at the Amex Stadium on Friday night, the 24-year-old midfielder thought he had netted an equaliser. Malo Gusto clipped a cross into the Brighton box, finding Fernandez, who leapt above Joel Veltman and headed the ball past Bart Verbruggen. The Argentina international's strike was quickly ruled out by the on-field referee, Chris Kavanagh, who adjudged him to have pushed the Seagulls defender in the build-up. The incident was reviewed and confirmed by the video assistant referee, Michael Oliver. An official statement from the Premier League reads, "The referee's call of no goal following a foul for a push by Enzo Fernandez on Joel Veltman was checked and confirmed by VAR." A few moments later, Brighton doubled their lead through Carragher Mitoma. The 27-year-old winger, who was heavily linked with a move to the Saudi Pro League in January, brilliantly brought down a long pass from Verbruggen before shifting the ball onto his right foot and smashing it past Philip Jorgensen. Oliver has been scrutinised in the days following Everton's dramatic 2-2 draw with Liverpool at Goodison Park. The 39-year-old, who officiated the Merseyside derby, made several controversial decisions throughout the clash before emotions boiled over. In the dying embers of stoppage time, James Tarkowski netted an equaliser for the Toffees, which was checked for offside. An official statement from the Premier League read, "The referee's call of goal was checked and confirmed by the VAR, who established that Doucouré was in an onside position in the build-up." Then, at full-time, Oliver brandished a pair of red cards for Curtis Jones and Abdoulaye Doucouré before giving Onslaught and his assistant Sip Hulshoff their marching orders a few moments later. Another official statement from the Premier League explained the Englishman's decision. The referee issued second yellow cards and red cards to Curtis Jones and Abdoulaye Doucouré following an altercation after the final whistle. Onslaught and his assistant Sip Hulshoff were also shown straight red cards after the final whistle. Jamie Carragher took aim at Trevoh Chalobah, Malo Gusto and Philip Jorgensen for their part in Carragher Mitoma's stunning opener for Brighton against Chelsea. The initial stages of the first half proved cagey, but Mitoma brought the Premier League contest to life with an exquisite strike to break the deadlock in the 27th minute. Chelsea's scrambling defenders failed to deal with Bart Verbruggen's searching goal kick, and the Japan winger capitalized in some style, taking the ball down with an astonishing first touch before finding the corner of Filip Jorgensen's net. Just 10 minutes later, the Seagulls had a second through Yankuba Minte, who beat Jorgensen with a controlled effort to send the Amex Stadium into raptures after some fine play between Jorginho Rutter and Danny Welbeck. "I cannot believe that first touch," ex-Liverpool defender Carragher said while analysing Mitoma's wonder goal. "I said before the game out on the pitch that I couldn't wait to see Mitoma and Cole Palmer. They're almost two throwbacks really, teams are so organised now." Watching back Mitoma's extraordinary first touch, a dumbfounded Carragher added, "What is that? Oh, wow. Wow, look at that, that's Lionel Messi-like. That's one of the best goals we've seen this season." After a few moments had passed, Carragher took aim at the questionable positioning of Chalobah and Gusto for Mitoma's strike. The former England centre-back also questioned the role of Jorgensen, who was once again given the nod ahead of Robert Sanchez in Enzo Maresca's starting 11. "When I was looking back at the goal, I didn't want to take anything away from the finish," Carragher added. Tariq Lamptey just makes Gusto go a little bit wider, and it means Mitoma gets in between Chalobah and Gusto, just allows him to bring it down. Nobody is really tight enough to him initially. It's not what you'd say is a mistake by the goalkeeper, but it's the type of save the Liverpool goalkeeper or the Arsenal goalkeeper would make and keep it out. Gary Neville was similarly taken aback by Mitoma's incredible strike, but also felt both Chalobah and Jorgensen could have done more to prevent Chelsea from going behind on the south coast. "It's incredible. Honestly, what Hez done there, watching that ball come over his head, to control it," the ex-Manchester United and England right-back said in the Sky Sports studio at half-time, "and this next bit is even better. To snap it inside, the goalkeeper has got to save it, but this is really, really special. The balance, the touch, the way in which he shifts the ball to the side. It's spectacular, it really is." Turning his attentions to Chelsea's defending, Neville added, "I think Chalobah should go and head it or try and head it to start with. But the goalkeeper should save it. It's not in the corner, it's the only place that Mitoma is going to put it. He gets a hand to it and it goes through his hand and pushes his hand back a little bit, so it's not a good moment for the goalkeeper. But let's be positive for once.